back with Mental Health Chats. I'm really excited because I've got Craig Brown with me today. Hello, Craig. How are you?
Hi, Claire. Yeah, all good. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm very, very well, thank you. And we are talking about a really important topic today. It's about burnout. So we're looking at how to motivate and inspire your team so that they don't actually burn out. So first of all, whereabouts are you based, Craig?
We're based in Bristol, sort of St. George region as well. It's not that far from you, Claire, is it?
Not far from me at all, and I love that area. So just quickly, who is Craig Brown?
So yeah, Craig's well, devoted father of two, family man, and just kind of hard working Bristolian, really. And shame, well, not ashamed to say it, a Bristol City supporter, which might not go down with a lot of your fan base, but
I don't have a preference of either. I just love watching any live
yeah.
sports. So, and I do love the city ground actually. So it's a brilliant place to go and watch football. So let's talk more about your experience and why I've got you on here as Burnout. So what is your experience, Craig?
So my working experience, I've previously worked in financial services for 13 years, ran projects after that as a self-employed consultant. But for the past 7 years, been supporting businesses with their recruitment needs and helping candidates sort of secure their next career move. So this is from starting from the bottom and working my way up to sort of recruitment business partner and account director within the defence, IT consultancy, engineering, and fintech industries.
So,
within
sorry, what were you going to say?
and within that, I've been fortunate enough to sit on both client as an internal talent acquisition, so working with agencies and having hiring pain points as a client, and then obviously working as the recruitment side, supporting those businesses.
Yeah. And that's why I asked you for this topic, because you've seen so many different types of people in the working world, and you've worked with so many different organizations, both internally and externally. So burnout is huge, actually. And a recent Forbes study states that over 50% of workers in the workplace experience some form of burnout. So what would be really good, you've obviously seen people who are burned out. So if you wouldn't mind telling us what burnout looks like.
Yeah, of course. So we're seeing it quite a lot as well, even more recently, especially with the return to work. The companies are sort of requesting more so. So the hybrid sort of remote working is getting more weighted to more office based now. But other examples are sort of mismatched to a person's skill set to the workload.
Yeah.
Maybe too much work or not enough resources to support that person. And another thing that I'm hearing a lot from candidates more so at the moment is the micromanagement and sort of the autonomy levels. Seems that it's overpowering within the industries as well.
Yeah. And what I've noticed with the people that I work with is that if people are being micromanaged, if they're not happy with their manager and the way the manager treats them, it can cause a lot of stress. And then that can lead to burnout. And it's not great in the workplace. And that goes to another study, which is 75% of people leave their manager, not the job itself. And that manager might be putting too much stress on people. So let's think about those statistics and think about leaders. Why is it important for leaders to motivate their team so that they don't burn out?
It's a bigger picture view, in my opinion, anyway, Claire. So sort of if they look at the productivity and performance of the team, so really working with the staff collaboratively, listening to their individual issues and their concerns around burnout, workload, micromanagement. Not only that keeps the team motivated to perform and provide a higher quality of service to their end clients, you're investing in the future of the business with less, this is where you come in, so it provides more retention and even attraction, because if the company is seen to be a champion of that, more people actually be attracted to that business.
Definitely. And I do think that people who are going into roles now are actually asking the questions of what's the staff turnover? what are the burnout rates? How are people treated?
Mm.
How do managers treat them? So I think it's really, really important that as leaders, when we're leading teams or when we're managing teams or if we're the C-suite, we really tap into the person. Because we've also got to think about the knock-ons, the impact. The impact of burnout is not only will people leave, and I've actually left a role years ago because I burnt out and I was being micromanaged.
Yeah.
But not just that, it's also the days off sick.
Yeah.
It's huge. The impact of people who burn out, their performance lowers, they have more days off sick, therefore we don't get our profits. We don't have the money coming in because we can't then help our clients. So what have you noticed in these areas, Craig?
What sort of I noticed as well is again that not the long-term planning isn't there, and sort of long-term sort of view on burnout. So for example, as you touched on, then that one person may be off sick, that then in turn will put more stress on the rest of the team for them not being in, and it have that snowball effect. And once the snowball's rolling, it's hard to stop that. I'm sure you see where I'm getting from with that. So yeah, it's really hitting it on the head early on with
It
that.
is. Yeah, definitely it's hitting it on the head early on. And that's where I work with organizations to actually, it goes back to the culture. And when I do positive intelligence coaching with organizations, I really notice a change in culture, and I notice a change in everybody's well-being as well. It's so, so powerful. So what would be really good to hear from you is, what can leaders do to motivate their teams so that they actually feel this change in culture and feel motivated to want to come to work so that they're not burnt out?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so there's a few points that sort of probably can cover that. Is number one, setting clear and realistic expectations of what the role entails. So clear cut right at the front. Foster a supportive work environment as well. So collaboration, open door communication policy throughout all levels of the business, just not your immediate line manager. Recognize and reward the achievement. So no, just celebrate success at every stage. Because part of the burnout is that when you're experiencing burnout, and talking from me personally as well, that you feel that you can never do anything right. You're in this bubble that everything you do is going to be wrong. So let's celebrate those wins. Obviously address performance, but get those wins in as well. And most importantly, for me, and so what I'm hearing in the market at the minute, is promoting that work-life balance. And we've seen a huge shift since COVID. There's a real driver for people working in certain businesses. So if you can offer that work-life balance, flexible working, I've seen the reintroduction of compounded hours as well. So doing a 4-day week over 5-day week in 4 days, and compounding it so people can have that day off in the week. Seeing that come back in, that was big when I was in that West Bank. That was compressed hours was a big driver, and that's what I took advantage of back then, and I felt the benefits. I'm seeing that come back. So it's having that open mindset of flexibility around what you can offer as a business.
And it really goes with the setting expectations that you said earlier, which I think is so, so key, that if we have that open communication, we set that expectations, I don't think people are going to take the mickey if you're being kind to them. I remember one manager I had years ago, this is when I burnt out, I had worked all the hours under the sun. I was exhausted, absolutely exhausted. I'd been getting in at 7 in the morning, staying till about 10 at night. And then one Friday I had just hit a wall. And I said, I've done all my work, it's 3 o'clock, can I just go home? She said, no. She said, no, you have to stay until at least 5.
Mm.
I can't even believe you've asked. That actually demotivated me.
Yeah.
She hadn't noticed how hard I worked. And that caused more stress and more pressure. So it's actually treating people like human beings. And you just mentioned yourself, your experienced burnout. What I want to ask you here, Craig, is what would a leader have done? What could a leader have done to really help you when you were feeling burnt out?
So it's giving the autonomy um, to make your own decisions. So at the level I was at that time, to be to see a solution that you wanted to provide to bring the best to provide the best service to your client, and it'll have to go through numerous approval processes and then get approved down the line.
Yeah,
It's just that sort of, you're trying to help, but you're always demotivated to even provide suggestions and solutions. And as me as a person, I'm always looking to provide those solutions
yeah,
um, efficiently.
yeah.
So yeah, it's this those kind of areas, and of course micromanagement as well, time clock watching, and then that.
They were micromanaging you, were they?
Yeah, and it's sort of then it go down onto the team as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the constant over the shoulder where you want to be creative and provide those solutions to the best of your ability to the client. That
Yeah,
then wears you down, and then ultimately part of burnout as well is losing interest and losing passion for what you do. And
yeah,
have passion in what you do
yeah,
should be embraced and not
mm,
discouraged by any leader, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So it's quite basic, just treating people like human beings. And I think something that you've said about 3 times is about not micromanaging, because when we are being micromanaged, we don't feel like we've got control and we don't feel like we've got a voice, and that causes stress. And that's one of the reasons why I love the positive intelligence coaching, because it helps people with their well-being. It really does, as well as boosting their performance, as well as improving relationships. So that's absolutely brilliant. So is there anything else you'd like to add, Craig? You've been absolutely brilliant. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, thanks for having me, Claire. Just one thing to add maybe is just for the leaders out there, just ensure your messaging is consistent and fair across the company with
Yeah,
every member of staff, so there's no favoritism or anything like that. That's probably one of the messages I want to leave, is just consistent messaging from the top.
definitely. Good. I love that. I love that little add on there. So thank you so much, Craig. You've been fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. You help, if you want to tell everyone that the area that you help the most with regards to their recruitment needs.
Yes, so we help at Hatch. We help small businesses or SMEs with all of their recruitment. So we're branding ourselves as a true talent partner, where we'll help with sort of burnout strategies, conversations to finding that right talent. So we're seen as an arm around the small businesses, which I feel that they're not being serviced at the moment. So we're here to
Yeah,
help the small businesses where any questions or anything like that.
definitely. Thank you so much. And where could people find you if they would love to get in touch? I'm sure there's a lot of people who would.
Yeah, you can find us on LinkedIn, so Hatch Talent Solutions. Email myself, Craig at hatchtalent.uk, or our website, hatchtalent.uk.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Craig, for your wise words and for opening up the conversation about burnout, because we want to prevent burnout.
Yeah.
So thank you and take care.
Thanks, Claire.